What's up guys? Today I bring you an absolute Goliath of a smartphone. So this is my full review of the Fossibot F107 Pro, and this is without a doubt the biggest rugged smartphone I have ever tested on this channel. So we have here a new rugged smartphone with IP68 and IP69K and also military standard durability. And the main highlights of this phone: Mediatek 7300 Ultra performance, an incredible 28,000 mAh battery, a massive 200 megapixel camera including Starlight night vision. You also get a 372 lumen flashlight on the top, and the list goes on and on. So very excited to show you what this phone can do. Now price wise, you can pick this up from Kickstarter right now for $399, which is supposed to be nearly 50% off the retail price. So let's check out what you get inside the box. So you're getting a user manual, a Type-C to Type-C charging cable. You've got a leather strap which you're going to secure to the side of the phone using the included screws. So that gives you a secure way to hold the phone. And you're also getting a 66-watt fast charger included in the box. I've attached the strap, 2 screws on each side. Now you've got yourself an elastic strap so you can slip your hand through, giving you a more secure way of holding and using this phone. On to the design. Now the phone is made from metal and rubberized plastic finished in black and silver. The thickness of this phone is absolutely outrageous. We're talking about 39.5 millimeters. That's the thickness of 5 normal sized smartphones all sandwiched together. Not only that, the weight also feels like you're holding 5 smartphones in one hand. This thing weighs a whopping 909 grams. So absolute monster in size, and you better have strong wrists and hands to carry this one around. Now on the plus point, walking around with a kg in your hands is likely to benefit you in terms of amount of workout you'll get in a day. So there is a plus point to it. And if not anything else, that's a pretty good item for self-defense. Now on the back, we have an interesting camera bump design with 3 camera sensors and LED flash. More details on the cameras and samples coming up later in the video. At the bottom you can see it's got the NFC symbol and you've got your loudspeaker grille. On top you can see we've got twin LED flashlights. They'll give you 372 lumens of light and they can beam up to 50 meters, so long distance as well. And it's got a dedicated button to activate. So if you keep the button pressed, it will activate the flashlight. And you've got 3 modes, so high, medium and then low. Alright, so now let's talk about the screen quality. You're looking at a 6.95 inch IPS LCD display with a screen resolution of 2460 by 1080. Now the screen does support automatic refresh rate adjustment up to 120 Hz, but you also have the option to switch between 60 Hz or 120 Hz all the time. Now I can confirm this phone does support HDR10, HDR10 Plus and HLG. And Widevine certification is level 3. And in case you guys are wondering, you have Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the front. So nice, large, bright display. All right, now let's check out the ports. Now at the bottom of the phone, you can see we've got a microphone hole and a latch. And behind the latch, you can see we have a USB-C port. Now on the side, we've got volume buttons and power button. And the power button also doubles up as a fingerprint sensor. Up on top, you have those powerful LED flashlights. And on the side, you can see a dedicated button for those LED flashlights at the top. The red button is your custom key, and you can customize that to open any app you like. And we have a SIM tray. And if I quickly show you, it's a dual hybrid SIM tray, so it can take 2 nano 5G SIM cards or 1 microSD card and 1 nano SIM card. Now let me show you the custom key in action. Within settings, you'll find an option for custom key. If you tap on it, you can customize all the functions. Single press, double press, and long press. So I'll show you it in action. So if we single press it, LED flashlight on the back activates. Press it again to switch it off. Double tap and YouTube opens. And if we long press it, it takes a screenshot. So you can customize that to suit your personal preference. Now let me give you a demo on the LED flashlight. So we're in a dark room, all studio lights are off, monitors are off, we've got no light coming in. All right, so if we long press the flashlight button, you can see the LED flashlight is on, and that is so bright. Okay, so that's the highest, full beam on, highest, and this can be used up to 50-meter distance. So that's very bright, guys. Very nice bright light there. Press it again to get setting number 2, medium setting, and then press it once more, and that's the lowest. The lowest is still very bright. Maximum, medium, and low. So the flashlight is very powerful and it means business. Time to talk performance. This phone is powered by the Mediatek 7300 Ultra, which is a 4nm octa-core clocked at 2.5 GHz. For graphics, we have the integrated Mali G615. For RAM and storage, you have a choice between 12 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage as standard. And as I showed you earlier, this also has MicroSD Expansion, which is certainly useful. Furthermore, this phone does support memory expansion, so you can expand the RAM by up to 18 gigs using your free internal storage space, effectively giving you 30 gigs of RAM. Now, the RAM expansion feature can be switched on and off as required, but you cannot select or define a lower amount of RAM as it's fixed at 18 gigs. Now we're going to check out the system and benchmarks. So first of all, DRM info, Google Widevine Level 3 certification. So that means if you open up Netflix, you're not going to get Netflix HD support. And if we go into the Netflix playback settings, you can see the DRM Widevine Level 3, playback maximum resolution SD quality, and HDR capabilities, none. All right, we also ran an internal disk speed test, and here are the results. Read speeds 1909 and write speeds 444 megabytes per second. So moving on to the benchmark, starting off with Geekbench, single core score 1021 and multi-core score 3256. In 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme, you can see we achieved an overall score of 871. 3D Mark Steel Nomad Lite, overall score 364, and unfortunately Solar Bay test was not supported. And finally, Antutu benchmark results, this phone achieves 707K. Now, if we talk gaming, technically you can play graphically demanding games like COD Mobile, but this phone is not really designed with gaming in mind. The sheer size and weight of this thing means you need Popeye forearms to play games, especially for long gaming sessions. That being said, I'm still going to do a quick gaming test because that's what we do on the channel. Opening up COD Mobile graphic settings, and you can see maximum graphics selectable is very high and very high frame rate. The option for max and ultra are there for frame rates, but if you select max, the graphics quality will drop down to high, and if you select ultra, then the graphics will drop down to low. So let's test this game on maximum settings and see how it handles. So after a full game of Call of Duty Mobile, you can see the thermals, device operating normally. So even though the device is very heavy to hold for long periods, it can handle Call of Duty Mobile, as you guys just saw. Now, what about the battery? Well, this phone has a massive 28,000 milliamp hour battery and supports up to 66 watt fast charging. And as I mentioned earlier, the fast charger is included in the box. No doubt it's a massive battery capacity, so expect a solid 4 to 5 hours to fully charge that battery. But you can expect the battery to last a week with normal use. So absolutely amazing battery life with this thing. All right, now let's talk cameras. We have triple cameras on the back with a 200 megapixel primary sensor, and that is the Samsung ISO Cell HP3 sensor, which is quite a common primary sensor used in many phones this year. And a few to name: Honor 400 and the Honor 400 Pro, Honor 90, Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro, Xiaomi Redmi Note 14 Pro Plus, Unihertz Tank 3 Pro, Realme 11 Pro Plus, and the list goes on. This phone also has a 50 megapixel ultra wide, and that is the Sony IMX766 image sensor. So quite an old sensor, going back up to 3 years. So it's the same ultra wide sensor as seen in the Oppo Find X5 and the Find X5 Pro, the Xiaomi 12, the Honor Magic 4 Pro, the Xiaomi 12X, the OnePlus 10T, and many others. This phone also has a unique 2 megapixel Starlight night vision camera, which is capable of shooting in complete darkness and still produces colorful bright results, samples coming right up. And on the front we have a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and if you need to know, it's the Sony IMX616, the same selfie camera as previously seen in the OnePlus Nord, the Realme X50 Pro, the Samsung Galaxy M51, the Realme X3, and many more. So exciting bunch of cameras. Let's go ahead and check out the samples. So let me show you the Starlight night vision in action. It's a 2 megapixel sensor designed to prioritize brightness and full color imaging in extremely dark environments, and the results are impressive. This camera can see in the dark in full color. The limitation of 2 megapixel means there is a slight blur in the overall quality, but the emphasis here is being able to take the actual full color photos in the dark rather than higher resolution photos. And just to compare, here is the iPhone 16 Pro in night mode. And here is the Fossibot Starlight night vision camera, and you can see the difference. It's absolutely amazing how the Fossibot can light up the whole area in full color. So this is the first iteration of their Starlight night vision camera, and I have to say it's pretty impressive. Now over here we're comparing the Starlight night vision camera compared to the primary sensor, both cameras shooting in complete darkness, and it's incredible how much color and detail the night vision camera is able to pick up. And here is the same scene shot in photos instead of video. And again, you can see the Starlight night vision camera does a really good job in picking up that detail in complete darkness. Here are more samples of the Starlight night vision camera. Again, these photos are shot in complete darkness, and it's incredible how the camera is even able to pick up anything in pure darkness. Now, other things to point out, this is running Android 15 with a very stock-like Android experience with no bloatware apps included at all. So nice clean version of Android 15. This phone also has a pretty responsive side fingerprint reader, and Face Unlock works equally well. Furthermore, you get the usual NFC, Bluetooth 5.4. This phone has Wi-Fi 6, but unfortunately this phone does not have an IR blaster. And to give you an idea of how this phone ranks, here is my top performing smartphone chart of 2025, showing you the latest smartphones and seeing how they compare with each other. Now, all smartphones are ranked by Geekbench multi-core scores, so higher the score, faster the phone, and therefore higher it ranks on this chart. For some people who are not bothered about benchmarks, I've also given each phone a rating out of 100 based on the features and specs. So from this chart, you can see exactly which phone is the most powerful and which phone overall is the best in terms of rating. So based on that, the Fossibot F107 Pro takes position 28 on this chart with a Geekbench multi-core score of 3256. And I've also given this phone an overall rating of 80 out of 100. So there you have it, guys. That was the Fossibot F107 Pro. So let me break it down for you. You get a very large and heavy smartphone. It's super tough, water resistant and military standard durability. This phone is so tough, if you drop this phone by accident, it will most likely damage the floor it lands on. Screen is nice and bright and supports HDR10. Performance is pretty decent for everyday tasks. Cameras are also surprisingly good quality for a rugged smartphone. You can take pretty decent looking photos and videos. The single loudspeaker on the phone is great quality but also gets very loud. The phone has a massive 28,000 mAh battery, 66 watt fast charger included in the box, and the phone has a built-in super bright flashlight. So that pretty much sums up the Fossibot F107 Pro. If you're looking for a massive smartphone with a massive battery life, IP68, IP69 and military standard durability, then this phone could be the one for you. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, if you want to see more of my latest and greatest unbiased tech reviews, then hit the like button, sub to the channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.